Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Fred Otsen. I'm the exercise director of the exercise Várpalota Challenge, which is conducted at the Várpalota training area for this moment. We deployed with the brigade at the 11th of January, and we will conduct our exercise until 21st of February. So a long time from our brigade. Again, a warm welcome at the Várpalota training area. I hope you enjoyed already our Dutch coffee, because that's typical Dutch. We drink the whole day coffee instead of only in the morning. But I hope you enjoy the coffee. Feel free for a small donut or something like that for this moment as well. And please raise your hand when I'm speaking too fast. The Royal Netherlands Army is a full professional army, well equipped, well trained, and only professional soldiers. No conscripts, only professionals. And this is for our brigade, the 43 Mechanized Brigade, the second time that we deployed here in Várpalota. The first time was at the age of 2000, and that was the first time we deployed with several battalions on this spot. So, for the second time at Várpalota Challenge. Please let me introduce our guidance for this afternoon. First of all, the project manager of this exercise is Captain Peter Berteler, our public affairs officer, Lieutenant Houtsma, and the quartermaster, warrant officer Oudjes in the back, is operating for the computer. So again, really warm welcome. I'm looking forward to join with you this afternoon, this Visitors Day, this Public Affairs Day, and I hope you all have a lot of interest in our brigade. 43 Mechanized Brigade is a brigade with a backbone. It's 88 times CV90. That's the combat vehicle on the wall. And further on in the presentation, you get a lot of explanations about that vehicle. But that combat vehicle, that is the backbone of our brigade. So first of all, let's kick off with the program, and I would like to hand over the floor to Captain Becker.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. Could you please start the movie?
impression from the last 3 weeks in this training area. So not only field training exercise, but including also live firing exercise. So please, Peter.
Thank you. I will give you a short presentation about the exercise and about the program we have organized for you today. Next slide, please. We started with the movie and the introduction of the Lieutenant Colonel. I will give now the presentation, and then we'll divide into 2 groups. On the left side of me will be group 1. You will come with me, and we'll start with the maintenance and the engineers, the static show. On my right side, you will be group 2. You will go with the lieutenant to the other units in front of this building. So group 1 with me and group 2 with the lieutenant. At about 1:15 we will switch, so you all have seen all the material we got, and then we will come back here. We'll have some other program. At the closing remarks from our boss, and then we'll have a small present for you all. Next slide, please. This is a familiar picture for you all, but it's just to emphasize where our units are. We are near Várpalota, but we also have units on Papa Air Base, where our logistics base is located, and we have our engineers battalion in Újmajor for their own exercise. Next slide, please. The training area, probably better known to you than to me, is divided into 3 different locations, and we can use them all. And we're very glad to be here, and we're very grateful for the cooperation we get from the Hungarian people and the Hungarian army, because in this terrain we can train all of our different capabilities of our army. We can do live fire exercise, our engineers can do their practices, and our maneuver and mechanized infantry can do their own program. So it's very suited for our army. Next one, please. This is the organization as we are here today. The OCE, that will be our brigade general. The ex-com will be the lieutenant colonel. I am the project officer with the HQ support on my side. And we have our units, the 44th Mechanized Infantry Battalion. We got 1 company of the 13th Infantry Battalion, Air Mobile. We got our 11th Engineer Battalion in Újmajor, as I said. We got Fire Support Command here. We're supported with a logistics unit, and of course we got our medicals, our medics, and our maintenance for our equipment. Next one, please. Some numbers for you all. At this moment, we are with 1,300 people in the country. They're divided, as the numbers say, about 970, close to 1,000 here at Újmajor, and in Újmajor and Papa Air Base, about 100 and 200 people. CV90s, we got 41 of them with us. They are at the moment in the training area preparing for their big action from coming weekend. We got 8 different types of Leopard tanks. You've seen them in the movie. We got them as for the engineers. We have got them for our maintenance crew, and we got them for bridge layer. We got vehicles, the Amaroks, 125 of them with the Mercedes-Benzes as well. Some IPRs, our old infantry vehicles in different forms. The Vesznek, it's the small wheeled vehicle for our recce platoons. The Boxer, we'll see it outside on the static show. It's our medical 8-wheeled terrain capable vehicle. We got 150 trucks and containers to stow away and to bring away all our goods, food, tents and equipment. And we got 170 tents outside for our soldiers to sleep, work, eat and live in during the 6 weeks that they're in the area. Next one, please. The goals. We are here with goals. One of them is to train our brigade subunits, but they all have their own goals. We have to train our companies of the 44th Mechanized Battalion, Infantry Battalion, for the European battle group of this year, where different European nations will provide units for a battle group steered by Europe. Then our 44th Mechanized Infantry Battalion will also train as a battalion to lead their subunits, their companies. The infantry battalion of the Air Mobile, the company of the Air Mobile battalion will train on their own. They are here at the camp and in the area, but they're not co-training with our mechanized units. They have their own program. As do our engineers in Oederocht, they have their own program, but it's easier to bring the entire units in one movement here than separate. And we, as you've seen in the movie, we had the Alpha battery of our fire support command do a live fire exercise with the 155mm Panzer howitzer and the 120mm mortars. And you will all see these materials outside in the static show. Next one, please. Then some pictures to give you an idea of what we have done here in the last weeks. As the Lieutenant Colonel said, we arrived at the 11th of January and we started with unloading the train, and we were expertly helped by the Hungarian army and the Hungarian Defense Force to unload the trains. As you can see, the containers with the tents and the guarding of the material at the different train station was provided, and we were very grateful that they did, because our units were coming into the country 1 week later. So after we deployed all the containers and the equipment from the train, next one please, we start building this camp, and here you can see the end product. 170 tents, 166 greens and 4 white ones. Next one please. Here's some close-up from the camp. The big white tents are for the units. They can use them as dining hall or sleeping location. As you can see on the bottom right hand side of the screen, there can fit about 100 people with their bunk beds inside the tent. On the top right you can see the campsite and also our maintenance location and the parking place for all the tracked vehicles, so all the roads will stay intact. Next one please. We had some different types of weather, as you all noticed. We had sun, like today, we had rain, we had fog, and we had snow. But all these different types of weather won't stop us from training. We were trained and we are educated to work in all kinds of circumstances of weather, so this didn't slow us down any bit. Next one please. Here's some images of the engineers doing their kind of work. The UXOs, the unexploded ordnances we have found in the terrain, because the terrain has been a location of military action for a long, long time. There are lots of different ordnances in the area, but the Hungarian EOD is very willing and very helpful for us to clean the terrain as soon as we find some material, we call them, they come and collect, and so there are no accidents happening here. In the top left you can see the engineers breaching a barricade so the infantry can go on with their action. And on the bottom left, one of the engineers is sweeping the terrain with a metal detector in case there's any mines. And in this case it's practice. He's not looking for the UXOs on the right of the top side, but he's looking for practice reasons. Next one please. Sorry. On the top left you can see the Panzer howitzer 155mm artillery piece. It's outside also, and we had a live fire with it on the Bakonikuti target range, as we did with the 120mm mortars on the bottom left. The top right you can see the soldiers carrying the projectiles for the howitzer. Next one please. The CV-90, our brand new state-of-the-art modern infantry fighting vehicle. 35mm rapid fire cannon with a crew of 3, a commander and a gunner in the turret, a driver in the undercarriage, and 6 or 7 soldiers in the back, armed with small arms fire, small armed weapons I should say. Here you can see them leaving the camp and moving to an attack area, a preparation area, before they go into action. And every vehicle has its own sector to provide cover with their main weapon. That's why the first one is pointed to the left, the second to the right, the third to the left. So every corner is based with a weapon. Next one please. Some more pictures you've also seen in the movie. The CV-90 is very capable in the terrain. The weather is providing different kinds of terrain for us. We got rock, we got mud, we got ice, we got snow, but it's pretty capable, as you can see on the top right. The bottom right, you can see the interior, how the 6 or 7 soldiers are crammed together inside, and on command of their commander they will exit the vehicle, provided 360-degree coverage, so the unit can go on with its task. And in case of emergency or enemy fire or enemy contact, they can shoot out smoke grenades, put up a smoke screen, so they can retract under cover of their own smoke. Next one, please. The bridge layer, one of the different types of Leopard tanks we brought. It can cover 22 or 25 meters of ditch to provide a bridge where our vehicles can cross. On the top right and the right side bottom, you can see what our engineers have made in Újmajor. They built 2 operation posts, different kinds, but all very robust. On the bottom left, you can see the safety margins we had to provide when the engineers start blowing up stuff. On the bottom left, the SKL, it says that's the device they used to build the tank ditch that's out there. And all the safety circles are provided to the units so no one gets close to the explosive and no accidents happen. Next one, please. Another shot from our engineers. We got a small guarding tower, something other than the big observation post we've seen in the other pictures. This is a small variation. Top right, the vesznek, it's the recce vehicle, but also used by the engineers for recce and surveillance. And on the bottom right, you see another version of our Leopard tank, and this one is used to breach any big tank ditches or dirt barricades. Next one, please. Then, of course, our medics, they have the brand new Boxer vehicle. You might have seen it driving in the terrain, more on the street, when they were escorted by the Hungarian MoveCon. It's an 8-wheeled vehicle where 3 passengers can lie down and be moved in the field to the pickup point where the civilian ambulance will collect and bring them to a hospital in case of emergency. Next one, please. And of course, our maintenance. Vehicles don't move without maintenance, so we got our complete maintenance crew here that can fix the fennec, the arm rocks, almost anything, any equipment we take with us, they are capable of fixing in case of when it's necessary. Next one, please. And our logistics. Of course, an army of 1,000 people needs lots of fuel, food, drink, tables, chairs, coffee, beamers, and so on and so on. And the logistic guys bring all that stuff for us where we need it. They also bring the fuel for the cars and the heaters, and they provide the lighting for the campsite. And they need protection of infantry when necessary. Next one, please. Any questions? No question. Yes.
My question is Gábor Zsolt from Magyar Daily newspaper.
Why Hungary?
This is my first question. So when you plan and you decide on what range complex, because there are several available in our part of the world, why Hungary is the best for you?
In 2016, we have to provide 2 companies for the EU battle group. These companies have to be trained at a certain level with all the different types of elements, engineers, live fire support, medics, and so on and so on. And we needed a terrain where we can combine all these different types of combat, and this is the perfect terrain for it. It's big, it's not flat, it has all the different types of surface and growth. So for us it's the perfect terrain to combine all these exercise purposes. That's why we are here.
And my second question, maybe I would have to address it to higher ups, but does this exercise is only national level, or somehow it fits into the Atlantic Resolve structure of NATO?
No,
it's totally national.
National level.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
But that's also to deal with the good experience with the Hungarian defense forces that we use this terrain again, because which I already mentioned, in the year of 2000 we were here for the first time, and 2 years ago another brigade, 30 Brigade of the southern part of the Netherlands, was using this terrain as well. So their experience took over, so well, we are very keen to use this terrain for our brigade as well.
Yes, any air support, helicopter, as was like 2 years ago?
No.
No, nothing like that.
Not in it.
That's that, thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, then this concludes my presentation about the exercise.